Hi and welcome back to Cheeky Crypto. My name is Nick, and today guys we're going to be jumping back down in the charts for Vechain, taking a look at what's been going on with the price action of VET. As I get into this, if you find it useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so you will be kept up to date with all the videos that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. If you haven't yet joined us in Discord, links in the description down below. Fantastic community talking crypto 24/7. It's completely free, and I don't think you'll be disappointed by what you find down there, so why not go ahead and check it out today. Right, let's get into this. So I've actually stripped off everything from the recent moves, okay, and it's just on the hourly chart, right? But I have zoomed out quite a bit. I just want to sort of highlight a few things that have been going on with Vechain, right? And what I'm now looking at this data through an alternative lens, right? So we can have a look. We obviously knew what I spoke about yesterday, looking at a fifth wave going down lower. But then I stripped all that off, and I was like, okay, what if there's a different pattern here? What if I just remove all the noise and take a look at what's going on, right? So to start with, we should acknowledge that it's a 335 corrective move going up, okay? So what we have here is a 335, okay? So an A wave, a B wave, and this C wave. Okay, it's just an ABC move, and it's basically a 335. Okay, really simple stuff. And that kind of got us to this top point here. So we're looking for a reversal. This is pretty much exactly when Bitcoin was at 48K. We kind of knew what was going on. We knew they were going down. Okay, then we started to think about the structures that were appearing here. We started mapping them all out. And then I just want to kind of, actually take a fresh look at this entire move, right? There's a lot of data here now, so we're able to review all of these movements as we see them with this whole entire structure, rather than us trying to plot each and every move coming on down here. I'm just going to move that fifth wave up a little bit higher there. There we go. So we get that mapped out because that was in a slightly incorrect spot there, but there we go. Okay, so what do we have? Well, let's just try a theory here, because just looking at this, it's an interesting move. So it would be that maybe we would have A, B, C, D, E, and a breakdown. Okay, so that could potentially play out quite nicely. That would basically make this an A, this being our B wave, and that being our C wave. Okay, and it looks like it ends in 5 waves going down, so a 335 coming down here with a B wave triangle, which is fine, that works. And then we have a short ABC upwards. Okay, so again, just corrective move there, and then we end up with a deeper corrective move, again ending in a 5 wave. So actually you could potentially say it was a 535, but I think it's actually a 335 again, right in here. So we can go with that right there. Okay, so we know we've got essentially 5 waves here, okay, and we know we've also got 5 waves here, okay, and so you could argue as well that there's actually 5 waves over here, making that thing a 5, 3, 5. Okay, so then you think this here should have been our kind of our third wave low. Then we have a bounce for the 4th wave, and then we pull down into our 5th wave, right? The final 5th wave low. This is what we think we were tracking, okay? But actually, it might be that we're actually tracking a triple corrective play in the fact that these are not what they seem to be, okay? And therefore, maybe there's something else going on. Alternatively, I could have been right the first time round, and we actually have, a 5-3-5-3-5 structure. But I think for the most part, if we track it as a triple corrective, it gives us an alternative way of looking at it. And we should end up in a very similar place anyway. But let's see what else goes on here. So if this is just, correction 1, correction 2, then we should be looking at an upward move and then correction 3. Okay, and I think that might have been what's actually gone on over here. So if we go ahead and take a look at it through these lenses, what do we have? Well, we have our standard structure going up, our just corrective pattern. There's 2 of these now, okay? And then this is the one that threw us off yesterday, right? We have this low point that we moved up nicely, and then we fell back down going lower. Okay, now this could be an expanding correction, okay? Again, we come down with an A, we go up with a B, and we come down with a C. And of course, we have all the subwaves, and there's nothing overly too special about this one. It's also looking like a 335. And then we move up with 5 waves. This is the 5 waves that have been throwing us. And again, we then pull on down. Now, we shouldn't have 5 waves inside our B wave. Okay, so we'd have to actually look at this differently again. And it would have to be considered as an ABC move. Okay, and we couldn't consider that as a 5-wave structure on its own. But there are 5 waves there, and those 5 waves have been throwing me off on these analysis for quite a bit, because those 5 waves there shouldn't be where they are, and that kind of counts itself out unless of course you take a look at this as an expanding flat this way, which is also a possibility, and we have that corrective move coming on down afterwards. Okay, so lots of different ways to kind of look at it, but we're looking at it from this perspective. You know, we could argue that this is an A going up, a B, and a C, even though there are 5 waves here, and chalk it up as something that shouldn't be, but it is. And again, you're going to find some of that in the crypto space. Elliott wave theory isn't designed for crypto space. Elliott wave theory was derived from observations of how traders and how people have been dealing with Dow Jones, right? So when we start thinking about trying to translate that theory over into the crypto space, it works, but you don't get perfect subwave counts on occasions, and that's due to liquidity. But nonetheless, we are in a really pretty good spot. It means that this is going to be our low point down here, and if we were to take a look at that from a Fibonacci perspective, which will be quite an important one, we take a look at this. Where have we actually gone down to? Well, we came down to the 1382 area. We actually just came a little bit lower than that, but we didn't close below it. It was the 1382. So again, another Fibonacci relationship that's working out quite well. And I was actually expecting it to be a 1236, but a little bit lower than that. We actually bounced from the 236, I think. So interesting kind of moves. Now, here we also have this as an ABC structure going down. It is not a 5-wave structure as I can count it, and we've basically moved up quite significantly. Now we can concrete this in by moving higher than this low point just up here, which, if I go ahead and just mark up for you guys, comes in right here at 5.736. Okay, so if we go higher than 5.736, that does invalidate any kind of 5-wave structure potentially even forming, with this being a 4th wave before going down lower. So essentially that isn't what's I don't think that's what's going to happen here. I do think we are likely to move on up higher at this point for Vechain. But of course, Bitcoin's tracking down, so Bitcoin could drag VET a little bit lower here, but I wouldn't want to see it lose this low that it's currently in. Of course, if it does, then it means that the structure I was talking about yesterday is the correct structure, and this alternative is not playing out. But again, just want to give you another idea as to what might be going on here with Vechain's price action. So as we kind of get into this, that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? So we're looking at the overall here on these micro movements. Now, what does this actually mean? Well, when you zoom out into our daily, for example, it doesn't actually mean terribly too much. We have the correction coming in. We're still kind of on track for our 4-cent target, which is a low point that we're aiming for, before getting a reversal to the upside. Now, that 4-cent target is really important, because 4 cent down here, this low point, essentially is a lower or a higher low than we were at previously over here. Okay, so again, we have the right directional plays going on overall. Obviously, this is not an impulsive structure. This was impulsive, but got invalidated on the move down by going lower than the A wave high here. So we know that essentially on this daily chart, we have ABC structure coming up. Now, what I think might be a better way of tracking all of this would be this is a giant A wave going up, this being our B wave coming down, and then we move up with a giant C wave later. Okay, and so I think there's a lot of things going on here, and well worth kind of keeping an eye on. And also that move could turn into an impulsive structure later on as well. This 4 cent would be a typical wave 2 move, so I wouldn't be too surprised if that is a wave 1 in the future. This comes in, becomes a wave 2, and then we move up with a massive wave 3, down for 4 and up for 5 later. Okay, so I think there's some interesting stuff I think that we have to consider as well, but a little bit more speculative. Now, if I zoom on out of this and we zoom on right into our daily chart on a bigger macro view, we can of course see the big ABC structure from 2020 into 2021, the big ABC structure finding its bottom down here. Okay, and again, this is pretty complete with an ABC in pretty much every one of these areas. And then now we're looking for that next move up, right? So when we're talking about bigger structures, we want to think about what happened here. I think is what's going to mirror on this side. I don't know how long it's going to take to play out, but I think that's the direction that we're looking at. And I think ultimately, when we actually take a consideration of everything, you could consider all of that as a giant A wave on a larger time frame. All of this is our B wave, and then you move up in a giant C wave going up higher. Okay, so there's a lot of really good things to come for Vechain. Right now, on the micro scale, everyone's kind of panicking. Lots of things going on, lots of price movement. No one really can accurately give you a good indication of what is likely to happen next. And then if that is the case, zoom on out take stock of the bigger, longer term position. Ultimately, everything is looking pretty good, slightly longer term. And, maybe you're just getting drowned in all the micro movements. But guys, I'm going to leave the video there. If you have found this useful and informative, hit the like button. I really do appreciate that. If you happen to be new to the channel, why not go ahead and subscribe, tap the bell, select all notifications, and in doing so, you will be kept up to date with everything that we do here at Cheeky Crypto. With all that said, done, and out of the way, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you all in the next one.